I stood in the corner of the Windsor Grand Ballroom with a champagne flute I hadn't touched, watching my sister, Tessa, work the room like she had been born for it. Her engagement party sparkled with crystal chandeliers, live jazz, expensive flowers, and hundreds of guests who all seemed perfectly rehearsed in their happiness. Lena. My mother appeared beside me, her smile softened by a few glasses of wine. Stop hiding. Come meet Tessa's future mother-in-law. She's asking about you. The message beneath her words was clear. Please don't embarrass us. I followed her to a circle of elegantly dressed women gathered near the dessert table. This is my other daughter, Mom announced. Not my name. Not my oldest daughter. Just my other daughter. Oh, you're the one who works with computers, Tessa's future mother-in-law said with a polite smile. I'm a software engineer, I corrected. How lovely. Tessa says you work from home. That must be very convenient. Convenient. A polite way of saying my career wasn't quite real. Tessa joined us, glowing in a designer gown, carefully holding her hand so everyone could admire the enormous diamond on her finger. Lena's very independent, she said sweetly. She likes working alone. Some people just aren't meant for the corporate world, one of my aunts added kindly. I smiled and said nothing. I'd heard this story my entire life. Tessa was the star. I was the supporting character. So, another aunt asked, how long have you been single now, dear? My phone buzzed. Evan, need a rescue? I smiled and typed back. Almost done. Tessa noticed. Who's that? She asked. Just a friend. Her smile stiffened. You're 35, Lena. You can't keep saying that forever. I finally took a sip of my champagne. Cold. Sharp. Steady. Tessa drifted back into the crowd while my mother gave me one of her warning smiles. I could already hear people talking about me. 6 years earlier, I had stopped trying to earn my family's approval. That's when I met Evan Park at a technology conference. He listened when I spoke. He laughed at my jokes. He made me feel like my thoughts mattered. We dated quietly. It was the one part of my life I wanted to protect. But Tessa found out. One evening, she grabbed my phone during dinner and saw his name. Later, she cornered me in the hallway. Men like that don't end up with women like you, she said. He'll leave you, and we'll all have front row seats. That night, I made a decision. I would let my family believe whatever they wanted. A year later, Evan proposed in my tiny apartment on an ordinary Tuesday evening. 4 months after that, we got married at City Hall. I never told my family. When my mother asked about Evan, I simply shrugged. It didn't work out. She actually looked relieved. Tessa hugged me. I'm sorry, she said, trying not to smile. Meanwhile, Evan's investment firm, Northgate Capital, kept growing. My own career flourished alongside it. But I still showed up to family gatherings in simple clothes and drove my old Honda. Their assumptions were easier than their questions. A few months before Tessa's engagement party, she started bragging about landing a huge investor for her consulting business, Morrow and Company. According to her, the deal was practically guaranteed. At the party, I overheard her promising colleagues that the contract was already as good as signed. My phone buzzed again. Evan, need a rescue? Not yet, I replied. 1 more hour. Tessa slipped beside me. Still texting your imaginary boyfriend? I smiled. You're right. I'll probably never find anyone. She looked satisfied. I walked away and sent Evan one final message. Reject Morrow and Company permanently. Monday. 9 a.m. His answer came almost instantly. Done. Love you. Sunday brunch at my parents' house was an old family tradition built on coffee and obligation. I arrived carrying fruit salad and found Tessa already there. She looked exhausted. My mother hovered nervously. Dad hid behind his newspaper. Tessa shoved her phone toward us. Northgate Capital rejected Morrow permanently. Evan Park signed the decision. She looked directly at me. Do you know him? Yes. Hope flashed across her face. Then call him. Please. Get me one meeting. No. Her expression hardened. Why are you doing this? My entire career depends on this deal. I looked at her calmly. Last night you turned my life into entertainment. I was helping you be realistic, she shot back. So am I. I opened my phone and slid it across the table. A photograph filled the screen. City Hall. A simple white dress. Evan's arm around my waist. Wedding rings catching the sunlight. My mother froze. Dad slowly lowered his newspaper. Tessa stared at the picture. That's impossible. It's my wedding photo, I said. Evan is my husband. We've been married for 4 years. The silence seemed endless. Finally, Tessa found her voice. So you ruined my opportunity because of a grudge? I protected my husband from a bad business decision, I said. And I protected myself from someone who has spent her life trying to make me feel small. A car horn sounded outside. A minute later, the front door opened. Evan walked in carrying coffee. He kissed my cheek and smiled at everyone. Hi, he said, offering his hand. I'm Evan. It's nice to finally meet all of you. I picked up my purse. We should go. At the front door, I turned back one last time. If you want me in this family, start with respect instead of pity. Then I walked away with my husband. Behind me, I heard Tessa whisper my name. For the first time in my life, it sounded small. And for the first time, I wasn't anyone's other daughter.